Well, hello, everybody in the world of Europe shall be saved. And I just wanted to share a few thoughts that I have a little bit about 2024, but really then pressing into 2025. It was actually September 2023 that I really knew very strongly that 2024 would be a new season, a year of open doors. And this was really met with some really kind of confirming words that I heard coming particularly from Chris Valentin about a new era, not about a new year. And I've sensed that as well. And there are some other thoughts alongside of that. But for me, I knew that 2023 began a new season, 2024, the year of open doors, and particularly some of the words around actually the number 22, which were involved. I then in 2024 led a program called Strengthen. If you're in the UK and you're a couple leading together, then you can check that out. You can find that email address, strengthenchurch.co.uk. But really what I want to share here is that this became a very significant part of my year and my learning personally, and beginning to see what I was sensing the Lord wanting to happen, and that is that we get strengthened. And strengthen was just that. We weren't teaching theology or ecclesiology. We were strengthening couples together and strengthening relationships. And then what happened was that towards the end of that program, September, we really got this very strong sense and request actually from the couples that were on it of what do we do next year? Is there going to be a second year of Strengthen? And what happened was we began to think, look, strong people do things. If they've got Strengthen, they're going to do things. And that became a part of what our preparations were. And then a verse that many people know, but I particularly love this translation, Daniel 11:32. They who know their God find strength and take action. And began to think through a theme, not just for that, but it emerged that it was a theme for me personally as well. And that was this belief of 2025 will be the year to break the glass ceiling over my life and to lead other people on a journey of breaking the glass ceiling over their life. It was curiously, strangely confirmed in September when I was in Scotland driving and drove under a bridge on a motorway, freeway, an autobahn, whatever you want to call it. And hanging over that bridge was a huge banner, and it said, if you break the glass ceiling, the future belongs to you. And I really do believe that it is a year to break the limits of our lives. And I also had a strong sense that what I led other people in would actually come out of my own personal journey and of me gaining strength and breaking my own glass ceiling. And one of the things that's happened there is I've actually begun to coach church leadership teams more than ever before. And it's something that I will be much more intentional about making that available to church leadership teams. But what happened was that somebody offered to coach me, and a very generous offer, and I'll be beginning my own personal coaching at the beginning of 2025. And these things started just to come together and give me a sense of, okay, I know what my glass ceiling is, and I know what the Lord has begun to say to me. And so, there are a number of themes. One of the things is that we need to really learn what good looks like, what righteous looks like. And that's another theme, and I'll come back to that at the end. But that's a very important part. The second theme for me of the year is about breaking the glass ceiling, pressing through those limiting factors on my life, on an organization's life, and really, seeing the sky, as I like to call it. And it actually was a phrase I coined a long time ago. I've heard other people do it, but I actually use it in personal coaching and destiny setting of, I want to help you see the sky. And when breaking the glass ceiling is helping us to see the sky, knowing what good looks like, knowing what righteous looks like. And then two other things that are connected to this, and a year of stopping tolerating the intolerable. And I've noticed that it's very easy for us to, as individuals or organizations, to find a workaround something where we should actually remove that obstacle and stop tolerating the intolerable. And then finally, and this is all linked into the program that I'm running, Strengthen, the second year program. It's a year of doing what we've not done before. And I wanted to share that with you because I believe that it is important for all of us, but I believe it's particularly important for us in Europe, and to break some of the limitations. And one of those in particular is the area of finance and resources and abundance. And I want to encourage every one of us to really press into this. One of the themes that the Lord has given me for my life for 2025 is this subject of abundance and wealth, and to teach on it and to press through into it. And we need some help with this in Europe, and I would say particularly the UK. Some of it, I recently heard Cheyan sharing, is because the history of the church in Europe is that we have a history of taking vows of poverty, and that people were recognized as being incredibly spiritual if the monk's habit was worn out and falling apart. And it's actually affected us. And the other area has been in the division of the secular and sacred, and the two are linked. So it's time to bust this. Our God is a God of abundance. And he wants us to press in to experience everything that he has available to us. Where in the passage that talks about the Ten Commandments, says, I'm a jealous God, a holy God. He's jealous for us, not of us. He's jealous for us. And the Ten Commandments are there to keep us in abundance, to keep us out of lack. That's actually the goal of them. The streets of heaven are gold. It's not so much a display of wealth. It's a display of abundance, and the abundance of heaven has a purpose to glorify God. And so it's time for us to break this. And so I do believe that the theme of wealth and abundance is really important for all of us to embrace, particularly in the UK and Europe. And I also believe the theme of righteousness. And these two themes are going hand in hand for me into 2025. And I believe that there is a window of opportunity for us, particularly in Europe. And some of this, some might not find easy to digest. To be honest, I haven't. But what's happening in America in the area of righteousness. Now, we may well look at the next president as being an unrighteous man. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, he's carrying some righteous principles. And there are some things that need to be put right in our world. There is some unrighteousness that needs to stop. And I believe that there is an opportunity for us to gain courage from what's happening in America across the pond, for righteousness, to believe for the undoing of many of the aspects of unrighteousness that are in our world. And some of it, I've said on many occasions, is insanity. So I want to encourage you with that. I love Job 5:16 says, when the helpless find hope, unrighteousness must shut its mouth. I love that. Proverbs says, when it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and righteousness exalts a nation. And so I want to encourage you, let's break through the glass ceilings of abundance and, well, unrighteousness is a glass ceiling. Let's bust through and let's believe for this. I want to encourage every one of you to believe in Europe that this is the year to break the glass ceiling. I do believe that it's year 5785 in the Jewish calendar. Last year was 5784, which was the year of the open door. Something about 5785 that is to do with breaking windows. I'm going to take that as a skylight window, breaking the glass ceiling there. And I also believe that this is a Jubilee year, in particular in the Catholic Church, in Italy, and particularly in Rome. And I think it would be worth us all embracing this as a Jubilee year. Let's break the glass ceiling. Let's bust through into abundance and wealth. Let's break through into righteousness, and let's celebrate a Jubilee year. And as we are coming to Christmas, so many of us will have read those great verses in Isaiah chapter 9. A child is born, a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace, and of the increase of his government. That sounds like breaking glass ceilings to me. Of the increase of his government and of peace, there will be no end. On the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it with justice and with righteousness. Let's see the justice of being aligned to the abundance of heaven, and let's see the righteousness of heaven on earth. And that great verse ends with saying, the zeal, the raw passion of our God will accomplish this. So I want to wish you a very, very happy and blessed 2025. But I want to invite you most of all to join with me in a year where we break the glass ceiling, we remove the limits, and we step into the fullness of what God has for us.